It is no news that Q4 is the biggest time in the e-commerce space because it combines several key factors that actually drives consumer spending and significantly boosts sales for different online brands. It is usually a very critical time for every e-commerce brand because at this time they want to maximize revenue, acquire new customers, and build long-lasting relationship with their audience. And any brand that is not prepared for Q4 can actually face significant challenge, which will go into things like missed opportunities for revenue, and even you can actually get long-term setback. Now, what are the most common issues that we actually see in this period? The first is ad cost goes up, and it is not a news if you are in the e-commerce space and you run paid media. You'd understand that in Q4, advertising costs will typically skyrocket due to increasing competition, especially in channels like Facebook and Google. Now, brands that haven't planned their budget or their ad strategy carefully, they can end up overspending in this particular period, and they would not see a corresponding increase in their conversions. The second is missed revenue. Now, this is because in Q4, this is when consumers are most willing to spend. And if you fail to have a strong marketing effort in this particular period, if you fail to have your inventory in place, it means that you are going to miss out on the biggest sales period of the year, which means low revenue, and you are going to miss out on these opportunities. The third thing that most brands would have is inventory and fulfillment problem. Now, this is because it is a very busy period and consumers are always going to be buying, and brands that are not ready with sufficient stock may face out of their stock issues during this peak period, like the Black Friday times, Cyber Monday, and of course the holiday season. This can be very frustrating to customers and will lead you to losing out on sales, and then it sends a negative brand perception to your brand generally. So as we prepare for the high stakes in Q4, I figured it would be very helpful to make this video detailing the breakdown of what you should focus on to actually set your brand up for success. Before we get into it, if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button below and give this video a thumbs up if you find this content very helpful. Without much further ado, let's get into it. It's very important to note that everything discussed in this video is designed to help you make the most of your Q4, and particularly Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and of course the holiday season. So the first thing you would need to do to set yourself up for success is accurate demand forecasting. Now, it is very important that you use your historical data, leverage on previous year's sales data to predict demand spikes. You can also look at your data to observe trends from Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and other major shopping days in that Q4. So when you do this, it saves you the stress of having to run out of stock and then have problems with customers on the long run. Now, the second thing you need to do to set yourself up for success as you get into Q4 is ensuring that you increase your inventory level. Now, this means that you have to make sure that you have sufficient stock well in place for Q4, especially your best-selling items, your best-selling product, or product that you know you would introduce at that particular time and they would actually run out of stock. So you need to place orders with your suppliers very early. Ideally from September or October, you already placed these orders and they're already coming in to avoid running out of stock during this critical sales period. And as you do this, ensure that you maintain an open line of communication with your suppliers so that they can ensure a timely delivery of your product. Because if you don't get them on time, you're going to run out of stock and then you will not be able to get much more revenue at this period. Now, one key thing to also do in this period is to create a contingency plan. Now, what this means is that you need to plan for the worst case at all. That means you need to identify what potential fulfillment risk can actually come, like your warehouse, your staff, or maybe even career delays. So make a plan to actually put all of these things in place should in case they do not fall or come through as you expect them. Now, when it comes to delivery, you should also be able to partner up with different fulfillment services like 3PLs and have a secondary plan to cater for all your delivery in case you have issues with your primary logistic. Now, the next thing on the list to start doing in order to prepare for Q4 is you need to start testing your offers on time. Now, we know that the holiday season brings much more of a surge of new potential customers, and your ability to attract and convert them is very crucial. Now, when you offer them something very unique and compelling, it can actually differentiate you from your competitors. With offers, you can choose to experiment with first-time customer discount, free shipping, or even a gift with purchase at that particular order. So you have the luxury before Q4, before we get into November, to actually test different offers like limited time offers with urgencies, such as you could even do a 24-hour flash sale to see how your customers actually taking all of this, so you can actually use this information to plan ahead. Now, the next thing on the list as you prepare for Q4 is you need to start making bigger swings in your creative test. Now, why is this very important? You need to realize that during Q4, especially in Black Friday, Cyber Monday, your competition for attention is very fierce, and you need eye-catching, bold creatives that actually stand out from the crowd during this sales period. And you shouldn't shy away from getting your creatives or making bigger swings in your creatives. So you need to test out different creatives now, test out different creative format, different angles to see which works in your account for your brand. And then as you use those information, you are planning ahead for Q4. It is also important that you focus much more on storytelling, brand values, and using emotional triggers to resonate with your audience so that you can actually take advantage of this moment. Now, the fourth thing on the list that you need to do to prepare ahead for Q4 is you need to start testing different landing page and optimizing your website. This is very important because in Q4, there is usually a traffic bump, and if you're not prepared for this, your website can crash and will affect your revenue and your sales target. So a well-optimized landing page is very important to actually convert all your ad traffic, especially because we know that there is going to be heavy traffic during this holiday period. So you can build up different landing page formats to actually serve different purpose depending on your audience and the stage that they are in the funnel. Now, one key test I've seen people doing in period like this, especially with the landing page, is testing product focused landing page with a much more educational format like listicles or advertorials that tells a story about your product and its benefits. An example of a test you can run for this period could be a top 10 holiday gifts under $50. This can be a listicle as it may help drive better engagement for those who are early in the funnel, while you could also do a simple fast loading checkout page, which would be also effective for people who are just returning to your website. At least they already know your brand and then they just want to just buy immediately. Speaking of landing page, I have seen advertorial landing page telling much more story about your brand value and how your product solves a specific problem. So this can actually be a approach that you can take to optimize your landing page and ensure you've tested them well enough as you prepare ahead for Q4. The last thing on the list that you can look out to do in order to get your brand up for success as you get into Q4 is bundling complementary products together to highlight different opportunities to cross-sell your customers. Now, you could offer to build a website that allows your customer to actually create their own bundle. Now, this would be very, very important as you get your customers to choose, maybe 2 or 3 of your products for a discounted price, and then you can compare how this performs to a different preset bundle offer that you have. So you can take out time to build all of these tests and run these tests on different pages, different bundles, so you can see how it impacts your performance overall before we get into BFCM and of course the holiday season. My final thoughts before wrapping up this video is you need to start early. The earlier you start, the better it gets. Now, October is the perfect time to start testing all of these strategies and fine-tune your approach for the holiday season and BFCM generally. So get your offers right, get your creatives, get your landing page, build out your bundles right now, and then test all of them. You would be able to do this and have a clear sense of what resonates most with your audience by the time we get into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the holiday period. So this test, I believe, would help you scale efficiently during Q4 as it is the busiest time of the year. So you need to start doing all of this now so that you can avoid setbacks and challenges that you may face on the way. I hope you find this content very helpful. If you do, give a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can stay updated on all the videos that I post. I will see you in the next video.